trouble, and I still can't find Tim. So
I'm sorry. So wait, am I supposed to like look good for this? Was this a thing I should have like, put on makeup for?
Trust me.
Wait,
Where's my makeup artist? Hold on.
It's
not
I know they were putting boils on your face, dude.
I'm borrowing.
They were, but like this was supposed to be cool.
Yeah, you love.
I don't know. I give up. You win.
I swear to God, I'm going to kill you.
All right, so we are live now.
So we are live now.
Yeah,
we are. We are good.
How's the light on my face? This is good.
I can't hear you.
Good light.
You're good.
Yeah.
It has begun. Start chanting.
The
lighting. Very good.
Okay, so who's the main host here? Is it all of you?
I guess I did make the thing, but like me and Tim kind of agreed that we would go back and forth depending on who was here because Tim is kind of like an aspiring professional.
My point is, introduce yourselves.
Okay, yeah. So I'm Kara. I'm from the
Kara.
Pacific Northwest in America, and I'm Jedi Jenkins on Twitter. And I'm 19, but going on 90, so give me a break.
Okay.
I'm Minerva. You might see me floating around as the Hugh Coyote. I'm like the first Garrett stalker in the fandom. I love everybody though. The group chat that brought most of these people together, I guess you'd say, when everything was still kind of loose and new. And then the one there in the car is my girlfriend trying to make it home from work without missing you on the stream.
Wait, who's in the car?
That's my girlfriend trying to make it home from work.
My girlfriend is rock sailing.
Okay. And who else do we have?
Okay, who's next? Go on, Nancy.
I'm Nancy. I was part of the podcast when it was about the librarians. I'm on Twitter as Nancy Sides Love. Very excited to be here and for this new show.
So you kind of got sucked into this because you liked the librarians, and then they were like, "Hey, you got to do this other thing too," and you were like, "Oh my God, really?"
No, I like the show by itself anyway.
Yeah, I love the sword on the back of your wall there. I approve. Very
thanks.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah. And who's our last one?
Well,
is there a blue someone
Cassidy.
with a blue shirt?
Oh,
Cassidy?
Casey, both of them.
Yeah, Cassidy and me. I'm Stacy. I'm from Southwest Virginia. I'm Dragonfly 5874. I've done the night picture for you. You may or may not remember.
That was you. Yes, I remember that. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
She helps on the wiki the fandom has been putting together too. So
I missed that. You guys made a wiki. I'll pitch in on that. I totally missed that. That went over my head.
Yeah, get on the program here with
wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Stacey. That's great.
You're welcome. So I'm hoping to get the first ones that I've done. I'm going to try to get them printed out, and at some point in time, I will stalk you guys and get them signed. So
we'll go to a con at some point, and we'll meet. and it'll be great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me hijack things real quick. What is the makeup process to making it look like you are a diseased plagueling that's vomiting all over yourself?
I suggest that before I answer that question, I say, hello, my name is Thor Kai.
Yeah.
I play Kell on the show The Outpost. Thank you for listening. I'm happy you're here with us. So you're talking about the makeup process for how to... Oh, hey there in the car. Now I see someone in the car. That's great.
Hi.
Hi. So the makeup process to get the thing, it's really funny because so most of it's obviously animated. Like the thing that comes out of everyone's mouth is sort of animated, but on set they have this it's kind of like a tongue sleeve. So it is like it's like a half foot long, maybe a foot long creature that's like the perfect rendition of that creature. And you can put it in your mouth. it like sits on your tongue, so you control how it moves on your tongue, and it's really, really, really weird to like have it in your mouth and have it on your tongue, and then try to like you gotta like suck it in, and then in the shot you gotta like slowly put it out, and then the animate, obviously the special effects guys take that and then go with it and make it even cooler. But that first thing you got to do yourself, and it was great because on set when we were doing, I'm not sure how far the series has gotten because I'm in Norway, so I haven't had the chance to actually watch any of it.
We just finished episode 3.
3, okay. Still, I'm not sure quite if something has happened or not happened. But this thing coming out of your mouth, on set when we shot one of these things, like there were literally makeup people when I was like sucking it into my mouth to like pull it back out, to push it back out. People were like gagging in the background because it looks disgusting. And it was hilarious. I'm like, that's a good day of acting when I'm like, people on set are like upset about this. It's like, yes.
It's like, can you recreate? Can you recreate with your tongue?
No.
Okay.
Let's not do that. Oh God. That's some alien action right there.
It is. I do not have the capacity for weird alien creature.
Quick,
sorry, no.
Cassidy, you should introduce yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Cassidy.
Hi.
Hi, I'm in Ohio. On Twitter, I am Sama Mandriel. And I don't know, I'm kind of friends. Oh, you're annoying.
Something's loud.
Yeah. I'm friends with Kira. We kind of just always end up watching the same shows, and she just brought me into this.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I forgot my Twitter to put my Twitter on, but it's really just Thor Kai, Thor as the Norse person, and then Knai is my last name. So at Thor Kai is literally everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. So yes, cool. Here we are. Did we lose anyone? No, everyone's here, right?
I accidentally muted someone.
Somebody got muted. It wasn't on purpose.
I actually muted Stacy, and I don't know how to unmute her. Someone help me. She's stuck. Okay. Everyone talk while I Google this.
Okay. So.
Wait, it's gotta be you. Yep. Well, so how? I guess let me ask this: you are all women. That's cool. Do you think that's a general? Do you think that's a general trait of the fandom, or do you think that's just you guys? Do you think more women like this, or do you think it's like equal, men, women, or more men, or more women? What do you think?
One thing I've noticed with other fandoms is that women are more likely to actively engage the side of a fandom, even if it's proven that the demographics are fairly balanced in actual viewership. Men will generally follow a couple of lead accounts, such as the official account, a couple of things that generate their interest. But actually, for some reason, us women folk just love sitting here tweeting about it and losing our minds and making art and things.
Well, we love you for it. That's great. So you're saying women are better? I feel like.
Stacey, you gotta unmute yourself. You have the power.
Oh, there's now 2 mutes. I see 2 people are muted.
Yeah, but okay.
There's one. She remuted herself. Oh, now she's good.
Okay, am I good? Okay.
Yes, I hear you.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
I didn't know.
I think what we just heard, you say was that women are generally better fans than men.
Wow.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I want to put it out there like that.
Well,
okay. So if I can add something really quick, there is you generally hear more thousands of screaming fangirls than you hear thousands of screaming fanboys.
I guess there's something to that.
it's more about the way society stigmatizes the ways that young men and women are allowed to participate in fandom. Because like girls, even though it was a girl that invented science fiction, Mary Kelly, I think. Or
Yeah,
like,
well, I'm sure
Mary
many of them
Shelley?
have made huge contributions.
Yeah, but like, people are like, oh, women can't be comic book fans. Why would you see a woman in a comic book shop?
That is the craziest thing.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
like,
not true.
No. Yeah.
But then
Of
at
course
the
they
same
can.
time, women are expected to be like screaming fangirls of online more than like boys aren't
In real life.
expected to go. You know, you expect to see men at Comic-Con, but you don't expect to see men on social media. But it's kind of the same. But I will say that this is the first group I've been in that involves a dude. That's Tim, but he's not here. But first time I've had someone in our group that isn't a girl. But that's maybe because birds of a feather flock together. I don't know.
I hope there ain't no feathers that are similar to mine.
But at the same time, we're from such different places and such different like lives. And
you are. I'm really impressed that you all have come together to do this podcast. That's a feat in and of itself.
For the librarians, we had people. We met up. We organized a fan meetup in Portland while they were filming and stuff, and they were amazed because we had people who flew all the way from Singapore.
What year was that?
What?
That was not that long ago. That was
Nancy moved out of Portland 2 years ago.
Yeah, we tried.
Flew to Singapore to do what? To like be on the show?
No, someone flew from just to meet other fans and then to go and have a tour of the set.
Oh.
I remember when y'all done that. Yeah, that was Let's Take Portland.
Yeah, let's take over
No,
Portland.
I love fans. Fans are the greatest. Like they do the craziest. And I did some crazy things in my day and I probably still do, being fans of things that I like. Like I spent, and this is somewhat not really a secret, I guess. But when Lord of the Rings was coming out, I spent a total of 11 days in line outside of the cinemas to get like premiere tickets to like the main cinema in Norway. And this was in November, mind you. So it was cold. Like it was snow. We're in full costume outside of the cinema, like in a sort of a makeshift camp, just to be the first in line for like Lord of the Rings tickets. So I love fandom. I've been part of it my whole life. So good for you guys.
That's actually a question. What fandom do you have interest in that you would love to be able to like take part in or have a role cast in as it's ongoing?
Okay, let me, so I guess a couple of things I'll say. One is I've always been a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Oh, yes.
That's even how I ended up on the Outpost. It's through Dungeons and Dragons.
That's amazing.
Nerds, I love it.
Yeah,
I
was actually gonna ask you about that because of your Twitter icon. I was like, that's a beholder, man.
That is a beholder. You got it. You know it. No, that's a beholder. My friend, he has a freaking. His house is huge, and he converted his wine cellar into what he calls like Gygax's dungeon or whatever. It's like literally a deep room with this massive oak table, and he's got like illithids and dragons and beholders kind of just hanging around the room. He's got every miniature ever. He's like, oh, I need an invisible halfling. Boom, here it is. This is the clear miniature with like the halfling. So like he's got everything. He's great.
That's so
he just launched he actually just launched a clothing line called Death Saves, a D&D clothing line.
What's it called?
It's called Death Saves.
Okay.
Yeah. His name is Joe Manganiello. He's great.
I love him. He's cool.
That guy, he's real. He's for real when it comes to D&D. So I guess if they were making any D&D properties, I would definitely love that real hard. And I already do. I already buy all their stuff. I could go to their cons and all that stuff. The second thing I would have to say that I'm really interested that they're making right now that want to be part of is they're doing The Witcher. Have you guys ever played The Witcher or read The Witcher series? You guys know what that is?
Are they doing movies?
So The Witcher is a Polish book series. It's really sort of like dark adult fantasy. And there's 3 games, Witcher 1 through 3, that are hugely successful in sort of the gamer world. I'm a huge gamer, so I would know this. And Netflix they're currently making a series based on this book series and the game.
Cool.
So that's another one where I'm like, oh my god, that's like one of the best games I've ever played.
For you to be on it?
I would love. I'm sorry, what?
I said, can we petition for you to be on it?
Yes, please. I will endorse and retweet and whatever this petition.
Books and
No. That's like D&D. They're making a couple of movies right now, and for The Witcher, they're making a series right now, and they're just about to start casting on The Witcher. And I'm like, all my reps know that I would love to be on that. So we'll see. We'll wait and see.
Let's fight for that one right there.
As far as D&D and books go, I was raised reading the Dragonlance Dungeons and Dragons books by Elizabeth Weiss and stuff, and I love them so much. And it was so funny.
Joe loves Dragonlance.
Yes, Dragonlance, and they only have I'm pretty sure they only had like one movie they made, and it was animated. But I loved it. Like I remember I was at Blockbuster as a kid. Dated term, I know, but I was at Blockbuster and I saw it, and I was like, "Mom, it's Dragonlance."
Because you're not 7. It was only a few years ago. Yeah.
Seems like a lifetime.
It does.
That's true.
Blockbuster. Like Video killed the Radio Star, but Netflix killed Blockbuster.
Imagine my panic when I realized Lion King was 20 years old.
Oh God.
No.
Lion King was amazing. I love the Lion King. That was one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
It's like I was literally in love with Nala. Like Nala was like one of my first crushes as a kid.
I had a cat named Nala.
Thor is furry confirmed. No.
Thor is furry confirmed.
Don't do this.
No, please don't show up as Nala. I will be defenseless.
I'm sure
That's
if you
terrible
pause.
and also amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That brought us to a screeching halt.
No. There's a lot of awkward, which is good. So do you have any Outpost specific questions? Because this is, after all, an Outpost show.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was your favorite scene to actually film, aside from the tongue thing?
So the tongue thing was really difficult to do, but it wasn't my favorite. I think my favorite. Unfortunately, a lot of it got cut. It was that there was the fight scene in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a lot more to that scene. So I loved shooting it. I was like, okay, so this is the first episode. I'm assuming we get in there and we do a lot of stunt training to like choreograph everything. And the director was like, "You guys know how to do this stuff, right?" And I was like, "Yes." Cool. Well, so here's what's gonna happen. The 3 of you, you're gonna kill him and him. Kill him first, and then kill that guy, and you're gonna kill him and him, and then you're gonna kill him and him. So the 3 of us, like me, Garrett, and Talon, were just asked to sort of. We went on these 3 tangents, and they had 2 or 3 stunt guys come at each of us. And we were supposed to just invent a way to kill them in turn. And we were like, cool, are we going to practice? No, not really. Just go 75%. And I was like, okay, great. So we just did it. And the stunt guys were great. And it was like, cool. So the scene that you see where like I cut down one guy, stab him, turn around, and like that's like take 3. Like there was no practice. We just had it. And it was great. I was like, that kind of confidence from a director is amazing. But they missed. Here's some inside info in the script too that they kind of missed in the actual episode. So Talon, in this fight, the first guy she goes through, she kind of kills him, right? But like she only like headshots him and doesn't get him in the mouth. And that was supposed to be a thing they were supposed to notice in the fight itself, but they kind of couldn't. they kind of ended up not doing it, but she goes through that guy and goes to fight the next guy, but that guy is not dead. So I kill a guy, right? And you see I kill that guy, and I step forward, unaware that the dude next to me on the ground
you're dead.
isn't dead yet.
God,
The guy next to me isn't dead. So that guy like sticks me in the leg, right? And then I have to cut off his tongue and stuff. And I'm like, God, I hate these things. And it was because that guy should have been dead, but Talon did not kill him
she
properly.
Finally gets it right. It's killing you. She's like, screw this dude.
It's real. Everything. And you already know this because you've watched the show. Everything that goes wrong in this series, it's Talon's fault.
It's Talon's fault. What a mood. That's why she's so relatable.
And here's another secret you may not know. So when we first meet Talon, when we first meet Garrett Spears, Commander, Jake Stormone, who's great, he's a good friend of mine, and we played D&D, and he's awesome. But when you might remember that Talon's in trouble in the woods, and she gets attacked by plaguelings. And then all of a sudden, the plaguelings get shot down by crossbow bolts, and then me and Garrett ride up, right? And we meet Garrett Spears, and they exchange a few words, and I say some stuff in Norwegian. I say "la vare," and he says "vent, vent." Did you guys have any idea what that exchange was when you watched the show?
No.
Okay, so that's me. What happens there is I'm saying in Norwegian, which is like the language of where I'm from. Me and Garrett actually grew up, etc. together in the story. It just kind of isn't shown as much as it maybe could have been.
They talked about it in the episode.
Right. We talk in this secret language kind of thing, and I'm saying, don't do it. Like, don't take it.
Don't do the thing.
I'm like, just don't. I'm basically saying, just don't, dude. And he goes, no, just wait. That's what he's saying. So that's the thing that kind of gets lost. But I'm like, dude, don't. And he's like, no, I gotta bring this girl. So from the get-go, I'm like, she's right, because you can tell from the moment he sees her that he's like, oh my God, this woman. But so from moment one, I'm like, don't bring Talon. It's going to be trouble. He brings Talon, and there's trouble. And now I may or may not be dead. We don't know yet, do we?
So you were the smart one.
I was. The only reason Garrett was alive for this many years as captain of the guard is because he had me as his right-hand man. I was the veteran, and he was like the upstart noble guy. Like, my job was literally like make sure he stays alive and doesn't do dumb shit. And now I'm dead.
Probably like,
so, yeah.
I wish that kid was my son instead. Yeah. You're the son Marshall Withers wishes he had.
Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that, but you said that, so I'm like, yeah.
I did say it. Yep.
So I've got another one. Do you have a favorite either blooper or prank on set that happened, or there's magically none yet?
I mean, me and Jake had the greatest time on set because we played D&D together. So like every 2 minutes, we were like, "Dude, we're in armor on horseback. How cool is this?" Fist bump, the whole time. And then, but I guess my favorite, one of my favorite, let's call it almost bloopers. We had to, in episode 2, which I guess you've seen, when we ride into the rebel camp, he's in front and I'm like the next guy riding in. But we had to do that a couple of times because the horses were kind of being iffy about the path and we weren't able to control them properly. But at one point, they brought and this is not the take they used, which is too bad because I'm sure it looked cool. But they brought the cameras closer and closer and like asked us to bring the horses more and more out towards the camera. So at some point, like literally the final take, I'm like, cool, great. So I'm trying to bring the horse super close to the camera and the camera keeps getting closer in. So we ride, they're like, action. And I'm riding and I have to duck sideways off the saddle under this like I don't know $200,000 camera to not knock it off and also get like injured myself to just barely not hit the camera and then like stand up in the saddle. So I'm like, I'm sure in camera it looked like I just passed it, and I'm sure it was cool. But I'm like, whoa, that was super, super close to being a real issue. And it was my own fault because, I'm not the greatest rider. I can ride horses, but not that well. Anyway, that was probably the closest, like, oh my God, blooper that I had.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right, let's do a few more questions, and I gotta go back.
Who else has them? I don't want to take them all.
All right, so who was your favorite, like, person on set to work with or, like, learn from? Like, obviously your friends.
Right.
Was there anyone who was, like, it was so great to learn from them, as someone involved in film?
Fair enough. So, like, unfortunately, I never got to have any scenes with Kevin McNally or Andrew Howard. Like, none of my scenes are with any of those guys. They're great. Or even what's her name? Robin something. She's great too. So the rest of us, like the main cast and me, we're all fairly unknown. Like we're fairly new to this, and I guess I'd have to. And sounds super whatever, but it's of course I'm gonna have to pick my friend Jake. Because he did all the Mythica movies. I don't know. You guys probably know about this.
I love Mythica.
Yes.
That's
all right.
why I was pumped.
Right. No. So he's great, and he does that role, which is a slight variation now, but still, he's that guy. He's that guy. And like, and he's great at it. And it was just a super, super happy to be working with him and like see him, because I've known him for a little while through D&D. I've just never actually been on set with him, and you never get to work with him. So getting to work with him and like being on set with him every day, because all my scenes are literally with him. It was really fun. It was really cool, and it was for us. Being D&D people, it was our D&D characters, like actually in real life on set.
Paid to LARP.
Paid to LARP. That's exactly it. We were like, oh my God, dude, fist bump the whole time. It was so, that shit was so cool, and I loved it. And so him and too, he's probably one of the most. Jake is probably the one who plays Garrett Spears. For those who don't know. He's one of the most disciplined dudes I know, not just on set. I guess because I didn't really do that much in scenes on set, but seeing him off set and what he does with his time when he's not working, he's like one of the most disciplined guys I know. No matter how tired he is, he goes to the gym whenever call time is. He'll go before call time. So if call time is 6 a.m, he's going to the gym at 5 a.m. or like 4:30, so he gets a full hour, showers, and drives to set. So like he's a beast when it comes to just doing what needs to be done and going. Like I thought I went to the gym a lot, and like he goes to the gym every freaking morning before set, even if it's like, oh, I had a 10-hour day yesterday and I got to be on set in 6 hours. I guess instead of taking the 5.5 hours of sleep, he's like, I guess I'll have 4 hours of sleep and I'll go to the gym. And I'm like, dude, you are a monster. And that's why he's Garrett Spears. That's why he's going to be like a huge name. He is one of the hardest workers in the room. And that's why. Or in the room, like in the hardest worker in the room is the Rock quote.
He's so
It's over Jake's door. Whenever it's quote he has over his door in his apartment, because I lived there when I was in Utah shooting this. Like he has be the hardest worker in the room is literally like above his door. And he really does. And he really is. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta up my own game. Like this guy is serious. So I love him, and like that's an inspiration to see that he does that and it works. So that would be the best.
Improvising fight scenes and working with them, like we've heard a lot about how Jess Green is like an MMA fighter in her time, and how she is, doing her fight scenes.
I'm sorry, is Jess Green an MMA fighter?
Did you not know that?
I did not know that. Somebody asked me when I just watched this, like, is Jess Green like a fighter? I was like, I don't think so. I think she moved well, but no, I think she
I'm
just.
honestly glad you didn't know that, so that when you were improvising next to her, you weren't like, oh gosh, that might have psyched you out. But you did a great job.
I guess
like everyone.
no, I was just really focused on like killing my own plaguelings as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Like this happened really fast. Like I had no time to see what the others were doing. I'm sure they were excellent, but so I totally missed their preparation. But no, but seeing the fights in the first few episodes, like they're. Oh hey Timothy, these were some good fights. Like she holds her own. I'm like either the stunt crew is amazing, or like she really knows what she's doing, and it's probably a mix of the two.
It's been amazing to watch. Like I was
very
raised on Xena, Warrior Princess, so it's so great to see another show that's like that, where she's just kicking butt everywhere she goes. Even if she's messing stuff up.
She's got some cool lines too. Like the guy says, "Oh well, I got a few ideas." He's like, "Well, none of those are gonna happen." Like these are fun lines. I'm like, yes. That's nice.
Yes.
Good line. She's great. I love Talon. Talon's amazing. All right, what
Tim, how are you?
Hey, Tim.
Answer our question.
Who's Tim?
Hey, Thor.
What's up, man?
Someone who's up very late for this, probably.
Yeah.
Someone in New Zealand.
Really?
Australia, actually.
6 a.m. over there.
Or Tasmania. I'm sorry, I guess it's all the same to me.
It's about 5 a.m.
It's like 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
Dedication, my brother.
Dedication.
It's like you and Jake over there.
I was just going to ask about what you think about the Calypso plotline, because that's something that your character was, kind of used, to involve, because, the drug seems to be like a really important factor.
Yeah, so I guess in many ways, Kell does, or my character does, in part, sort of introduce Calypso as a concept. I know what it is, but I cannot talk about it.
We have some theories. Yeah, we have some theories that it's.
Okay, let me hear your theories.
Well, first of all, a lot of people. Here's something that we had to clarify in our first stream. A lot of people missed the part where you got stabbed in the ankle in the first episode.
Well,
so
that part's even in the replay, like recap for the second episode.
I don't know. People weren't paying attention. They went to get popcorn. I don't know. People missed it, and they didn't miss the snorting of the Calypso. So in a lot of people's minds, they thought the Calypso was somehow poisoned and was spreading.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
And so we had to clarify that. But then the Mistress and the Worm came out, and they were talking when they carried her dead body in. They were talking about how not everybody turns into a plagueling. Some people recover.
Some do and some don't. Yeah,
and
like if you get bit, some people survive.
I was thinking that Calypso might have something to do with that. Like everyone who actually turned into a plagueling might be lowering their immunity or introducing something. Because I have really bad health myself. My immune system's horrible. So
I just see this fantasy crack.
Right. So your theory is that Calypso somehow has something to do with whether or not people who get bitten actually turn into a plagueling?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. That's a good theory. I mean, I can't confirm or deny any of these things. But that, I mean, to me, that seems to make some sense. That's not ridiculous.
It's
that's
like if you went in a rainstorm without a jacket, and then you drink whiskey. Like you're gonna get sick.
I'm sorry. What does that have to do with anything?
Maybe that's just
what happens when you drink whiskey in a rainstorm. Now I'm really curious.
That's the most American thing I've ever heard.
That's how you don't get sick. That's how you don't get sick. That's a Southern remedy.
Oh, what? So if you're in a rainstorm and you don't have a jacket, but you drink whiskey, you're safe. Yes?
America, Spot Americans in this phone call.
I used the whiskey. I used the wrong drug of choice. I used the wrong poison. If you're in a rainstorm and you do cocaine, you're gonna get sick.
Okay, now I'm even more confused.
I'm just saying that if you do drugs at the same time that you're in a situation that's bad for your immune system, you're introducing more problems for your body. Your body's fighting multiple.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's, I guess that's an established thing somewhat. Yeah, so that could be it. It maybe a lot of other things. The only one that
drinks. For your information, drinking whiskey in a rainstorm happened in Canada, Stacy. So
I'm gonna next time, and I'm gonna blame you if it goes wrong. Wow. Anything I do from this point forward, when I drink whiskey in a rainstorm, is gonna be on yours, Nick. So.
Hey, I'm from the South. Moonshine and drinking is way of the South. So
I'm from Idaho, which is the little corner of the South that they put in the North. They just ripped it out and put it up there, and there's a whole bunch of white trash and stuff.
All right, I got time for let's do one more question.
Let's let Tim do one.
Tim, what do you want to ask?
I'm sorry, my dog's barking at me. I'm gonna figure out.
What's up?
Honestly, I'm not sure whether people actually realize, but Thor actually literally played Thor in a Deadpool parody.
In the parody.
What? Oh, I didn't know about this. Tim,
please just tell me anything you can about making that parody. Anything at all.
How do you know this, sir?
It's our job.
Went through your IMDb. But no, my biggest question is actually, what was it like with Bebo in Legends?
No, I was not aware that was an IMDb.
Wait, Bebo?
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you were on Legends Tomorrow, which
Wait, what?
You've been on 4 CW shows.
But you were talking about the Deadpool thing, right?
Yeah, that too, yeah. Yeah, you actually played Thor, of all people, which the irony there is just brilliant.
I cosplay as Thor, in California.
Oh, wow.
I'm one of the Thor cosplayers in some sense. Because I used to have long hair, so I have some great people. They made me a really good Thor Dark World when Dark World was the latest movie. They made me a really good Thor Dark World costume, and I had long hair, and I kind of looked like him with the hair. So I had a great time cosplaying Thor all over Southern California. I even got to be in Stan Lee had a 95th birthday party, and they wanted to invite top cosplayers for Stan Lee's party to be there and be his characters. And I got to be Thor, and I was like, oh my god, this is a big deal. It was really cool.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so the Deadpool people are some of the same people that know me through SoCal cosplay. So they were like, hey, you're in the neighborhood. We need a Thor for the Deadpool thing. Are you available? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll totally do it. Because their first video was amazing. I don't know if you've seen the first one, but those Deadpool people are great.
Yeah, I want to know what it was like with Legends, with you acting opposite a blue plush toy with Bebo, because how did that work for you?
I will admit, it was fairly hard to keep a straight face because they literally have Bebo on a stick in front of you.
I worship Bebo.
And in the Bebo voice, they have Bebo on a stick. All hail Bebo. They have Bebo on a stick in front of you, and with the voice and everything. The girl who does the voice was right there, and they're animatronic, helping you out because they're obviously not in the shop, but they're helping you. So you have to keep a straight face and be like, oh my god, it's this thing. And I was the whole time, obviously, because it's hilarious. But no, that was a great trick too. That was a lot of fun. I love it. And Bebo's amazing.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was they really took that and made it better.
I love that it was a plush toy saying, Bebo hungry. And my sister in the show goes it means he wants to burn the world. And it's yeah. Yeah, that's what it means.
I can't believe I didn't even realize that you were Leaf. I'm like, that's one of my favorite shows. I'm like, okay, over my head. Tim,
Yeah, I just went on new IMDb and it was like, yeah.
I didn't even realize you were on Legends of Tomorrow. I have to go back and watch that now. I can't even believe it.
Now you have to watch it.
Yes.
He's actually been on 4 CW shows, you realise. He's been on Rain, which I've also seen. He's been on Bones, and The Last Ship, and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Bones traumatized me.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was a good one. That was just kind of... They're genius. Everyone on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, all those people, like Rachel, Santino, all those guys are geniuses. Like, they're so good at what they do. They were sitting there, like, between takes, writing this musical for the next show. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening right in front of me. And I was like, wow. That is a special skill set that I do not have. But I was like, wow. It was super impressive. I love that show too. Tim, you've done your homework, man.
What's that?
You've done your homework. Good for you.
IMDb is a blessing.
All right, I'm about to walk out to my friends. Let's do one more question, and then I'll
the real question is,
friends and I'll go.
Do you ship Talon?
Tim, what? You always like this.
I'm sorry. What's the Talon?
Do you ship Talon and Gwyn?
If I ship Talon and Gwyn?
Yes.
I don't think. Okay, so honestly, I would love to, but I think Gwyn's just not Talon's type. Like, I would, just from a completely gender neutral perspective, I think there are some insurmountable differences with, like, the way Gwyn lives her life and experiences everything, and the way Talon does.
You ship
Garrett. That's totally true. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Garrett. Talon and Gwyn. So I think there's a big difference there. So I don't really think that would work. As a guy on some level, sure, but not really. No. All right, I'm gonna go rejoin my summer crew over here.
Hi.
It was great talking to you guys.
Thank you, Thor.
You guys have a good podcast. They said some shit about you. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. Look, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone, thank you for showing up so much. And he's gone.
All right, that was great. Okay, but before we go, because we still have a little bit of time, we should talk about the most recent episode.
Yes.
Yeah, don't you think?
Yes.
Yes.
That was the most ADHD interview ever, for the record. I'm just saying.
It's because none of us are. It's because none of us are. I can't even say it on the air, but never mind. It's because we're all.
I do apologize because I actually crashed a bit earlier, so that's why I came in late.
You were asleep, and we're like, we can't find Tim. We're like, where's Tim?
But
I tried to ask questions, but Thor's kind of ADD too, in the best way. Like,
he was great.
Car lady made it home.
Hey. I do want to say one thing I really liked about this episode was the scene with Garrett and his dad. Which I was like, I love it so much. I love that the relationship isn't straight up black and white. They hate each other. Like, there's obviously lots of other emotions going on. Like, Withers got upset when he found out that Kell was dead because he knew that was like his BFF from childhood.
Within 2 minutes
to Thor, but I totally shipped Kell and Garrett, and I feel like it's really funny that Talon is the reason that Kell is dead. It's like she moved in on Kell's man.
I don't know if you heard me joke. What about Carrot? But
Carrot, that is going to be the weirdest ship name ever.
Carrot.
Within 2 minutes, they expanded on Withers and Garrett's story together and really made both of them a lot more layered, much less their personal dynamic. And they did it in the course of like 2 minutes and a few lines of dialogue. And I feel like that was really well done.
It was good.
But not only did it give so much away for their personal relationships and themselves,
One of the
Well, that
things
scene
I had actually pointed out. One of the things that I'd actually pointed out to men was that Withers like grew on me in the third episode, in that I suddenly didn't hate him nearly as much, and I said I felt like he has redeemable qualities. So kind of like at this point, I'm either expecting him to drop dead in the next episode, or he's actually going to become a part of the main cast and actually start helping in the journeys ahead.
Yeah, I feel like down the line he might join the rebellion because at this point he doesn't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But he obviously doesn't like the Prime Order as much as Garrett does. Obviously, there's still that thing of that Withers got some innocent person killed and we still don't know who that is yet.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody likes the Prime Order. They just tolerate them.
Yeah, it's like the tiers of management. And nobody really likes the CEO, but you pretend to like him because he pays you. So
it's like the current government. I'm sorry.
It's all politics.
Okay, but like that scene was also important to this rising plot line of Gwen, and I know we all have come to a lot of us and our families have come to this conclusion, especially in the last episode. People started putting pieces together about this theory that Gwen is not Kalkazar's daughter, or at least is not, not just his daughter. That because like we got told this episode during that conversation that the reason Kalkazar is an important person in the Prime Order hierarchy is because he betrayed the old king and got him killed, and then he was part of the old regime, and now he's part of the new one. But it's obvious that he's did that because he plans a rebellion to take over. And I feel like the previous king, whoever this was, ordered him to do it and sacrificed himself for his progeny, and had Kalkazar take his daughter and pretend that it was his daughter, so that when the time for the rebellion came, they would have someone to put in power.
That's a really good theory.
That is. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes everything make sense. My mom thought about it after episode 3, and I was like, this is perfect. This makes sense. Especially the scene when Gwen got Kalkazar to set Talon free, because he was obviously listening to Withers until she was like, I won't allow it.
She commanded him.
Mm-hmm. She commanded him because she's the queen.
Further, I guess it's expanding on that, too, is the way Garrett spoke, nothing of loyalty while accusing him.
Because what's more loyal than sacrifice? It's like a Jaime Lannister plotline. What is more honorable than sacrificing your honor for the good of the people?
And choosing to still take on someone as if a daughter to protect her and plans for the future. That all makes sense.
Right.
Did anyone get scared by the jump scare that they threw in?
I didn't even notice it, but maybe I'm
I didn't know there was a jump scare. What?
I just made a note of a jump scare, but I can't remember actually what it was. But
I
think it might have been the Plagueling, from memory.
Oh yeah, when it like suddenly.
Oh,
that's
the throat thing.
But like that, for one thing, if you didn't see that coming, and for another thing, that's kind of the nature of Plaguelings. And it wasn't I don't know. I don't feel like it's that big of a jump scare compared. Like
I still love that Talon and Garrett just dumped a body into Chenzo's lab.
Yeah, they're like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh my god, I'm literally okay. So
he was so done that scene, that whole scene. Like,
yeah, I loved how much Danzo's character has expanded. We're getting more about him, and stuff.
Yeah.
And Nan's like the acting has gotten, like me and Minerva were talking about how we think that Danzo is a lot more comfortable when he's in his own space down in that, that place, and he's less awkward and stuff like when he's upstairs.
Yeah,
it's something Kira and I were talking about. I almost feel like, and I could be wrong at this point, but while in pure public avenues, we do get the very, I guess you'd say, atypical, abnormal quote, there's no such thing as normal. But, you know, the brows, and he plays into being taken as a simpleton. But he is very clearly not. And it's something I almost feel like he puts on as a mask at this point, because the more private and in his domain he gets, the more you see he is a wickedly intelligent and sharp-eyed individual. For example, when he was helping heal Talon, you saw that facade drop in like a second when the recognition of what was going on when she was wounded and needed help. And I'm really curious as to what all he hides behind this fake mask of being simple. I do believe in a way he could be considered similar to like a neurodivergent or something like that, where, you know, you're a little different from normal, but there's no normal. With focused intelligence, he's clearly got that, but I feel like he plays that up for the public, and I'd love to learn more about why.
It's true.
I'm really interested in the. Okay, I wanted to like the mistress at first, but now it's really clear that she only took all these random street children in for free child labor. And she doesn't actually care about them, and she seems really abusive, even if she does, you know. And especially
we're just calling the new Joffrey.
Because Jalanzo, that's what I just said. What?
I said we'll call her the new Joffrey, because she's not quite that bad, but close.
Okay,
she's getting close. She's like a peasant version of Cersei.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Exactly it. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing that.
Can we just focus on the amount of humor that was in episode 3?
It was good.
Yes.
Just the pacing of episode 3 in general was really good.
Yeah, you no longer smell of eczema and it suits you. That was hands down the best line of the episode.
What did y'all think about Humphrey and all the monsters?
Am I the only one that's like, I like the demon and I want to pet it?
Just for clarity for those listening, Sonali decided to call Talon's demon Humphrey.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I was like, who? She was like, Humphrey.
Yeah.
I had to explain it.
Humphrey is literally a cat bringing home dead mice.
Yes, that's true.
And Sonali wants to make him eat her pet. So.
That or it is actual cat logic, and the demon's thoroughly convinced that it would starve without, or that Talon would starve without him.
Yeah.
That's why cats bring gifts home.
Yeah. The only difference between Cersei Lannister and Mistress really is not their status, but how much they actually care about their children. Because
which is not at all
true.
Yeah, Cersei's only human defining quality is that she cares about her children and she wants the best for them. Even if she's using them to get power for herself, she still cares about them. And it's only when she's
says they're all dead.
Mistress doesn't seem to actually care about these kids at all.
No, she cares about herself.
So you're saying Cersei is more redeemable than the mistress?
Yeah, I am. I am saying that. I said that and I meant it. I don't like her. I love the actress.
What is up with that makeup?
The makeup? That is true bar wench makeup.
That is straight up bar wench. I did this while hammered makeup.
Yeah, her makeup this episode, it almost fit the fact that she was called a tavern wench. And I'm like, and then she was like, you could have disagreed with me to Janzo. And he's like, if you said it. Look at your face.
My favorite thing is how much Janzo loves Talon. Like when he said that she was perfect, and I'm like, buddy, she's not, but I love how much you love her.
Yeah. See, one of the things that I like about Janzo and Talon's relationship is that no matter what, like Janzo is going to be incredibly important to Talon. Be it either through friendship or we may get a nice like
unfriend-zoned moment
between Janzo and Talon. But like even if Janzo stays in the friend zone, like he is going to be crucial to Talon, especially because he brings out something in Talon that nobody else in the cast has been able to yet.
Yes.
And I really don't. I really don't know if that's actually just chemistry between Jess and Anon, or if it's actually like that's what they're going for.
It's probably a mix
for the characters. Yeah, probably.
Janzo and Talon are definitely going to be really close. They're already like probably the closest thing Talon has to a friend so far.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't trust Garrett or Gwyn really at all yet, but she trusts Janzo.
She came to Janzo with Kell. She had nowhere else to. They couldn't think of anyone else to take him to.
Like my main ship, obviously, I've said this before, would probably be the OT3 or the OT4. You know what I mean? I like y'all.
OT Rhomboid.
OT Rhombus, yeah, Rhomboid, yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's what the people want. But like, I didn't expect to like Talon and Janzo's relationship so much, and it's actually what has captivated me probably the most so far throughout the show. And I wrote a little rabble after like the their tension was interesting. I want to see them become friends more. I want them to relax around each other. But like, and now after this episode, I'm like writing another chapter of what I thought was a one shot because I'm like I need to write more for these two. So like, I just can't stop. I love them so much.
I think there's one thing we
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say I think there's one thing we definitely need to discuss though. Is that bath scene? Let's be honest, it's the bath scene.
The bath scene! Oh my god, we knew it was coming from the promos, but I didn't know it would be as gay as it was. Because she's like, come to get tea, and then she shows up to have tea, and instead of having tea, Gwen's immediately like, take your clothes off. And I feel like part of the reason, I feel like if, like, I don't even know if Thor's seen that scene, but you gotta admit, that was hilarious. It was so funny because...
For those unaware, I've actually made it into a, like, 2-second video, and Gwen just eyes Talon up and down, like, in the gayest way possible.
The gayest way.
Like, literally checking her out.
And then...
I'm not sure whether that was just Imogen appreciating Jess, or...
Well, maybe she's just that dirty.
Might have to try and get Imogen on here and get her to confirm.
One thing I'm really curious about, and this is going to sound weird, is waiting for actually seeing what comes out of eventually Gwen and Janzo kind of crossing paths, because I feel like we have two different trios going on with recurring characters.
And I feel like
we got the OT3 of yours. But then we've got the more like buddy trio going on, even if there's romantic overlap there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see what happens when Gwen kind of gets brought in, or Janzo gets brought in. Either way, them crossing paths. Because right now it's Garrett and Talon in two different sets with Janzo to one side and Gwen in the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Round this circle.
But like, I think that Janzo and Gwen would actually have a lot of potential, and I feel like they would like gang up really sassy to the other two. It would be hilarious. But I really am interested in just like this doesn't seem like it's going the normal love triangle direction, and even if it does, I just hope they do it in something that's like not stereotypical. You know what I mean? Like,
you mean like Siren? Like Siren's doing basically?
I've noticed the show has a way of taking something that's technically a trope, but turning it on its head very quickly.
Did you just say Siren?
What?
Oh yeah, when he said it's going. I said like Siren when he said it does. What did you say about unconventional or something?
An unconventional love triangle.
Yeah, and that's what Siren's done really well. Is had the polyamory as actually part of the show.
Oh, I thought you were saying that Siren has a stereotypical love triangle, and I was about to be like, what did you say?
No, but I'd like to point out to everyone that actually even the cast ships Talon and Gwen. Well, most of the cast except for Thor, apparently.
It's not that he doesn't. He's just like questioning.
Yeah, I get what Thor's saying. Yeah, I
That
agree
is
with him on
something
that
that's
point.
interesting, though, because
but-
opposites attract. But I also feel like Gwen is more than she appears, and we haven't gotten to see. We haven't gotten to see
Yeah.
a lot of what her potential is. You know what I mean? She's got some skill to her.
Yeah.
I want to see Gwen outside her comfort zone. I want to see Gwen out in the muck and the wild with Talon, like a Stargate Atlantis episode.
Yes.
Complaining the whole way. I'm sorry.
That would be amazing, yeah.
Okay, so right now on spec, we've got that she's essentially the princess or queen to be from the family of the royals that have been overthrown, which is why Toru Magmar would have killed her as a Covenant officer, and why Garrett talks of loyalty. What other speculation do we have floating around right now to sort of wrap up the... Go on.
I'm pretty sure that Janzo is going to take over he's going to investigate whatever is up with Calypsum, and obviously we have many from not only people like Thor, but just from in general, that Calypsum is made out of some sort of substance is going to be important. And, but like the control of it as well is going to be power play. And it seems like everybody is, working on power plays, because if Gwen is the queen and Janzo and the Mistress are going after controlling the drug trade, and Talon is the descendant of a demon empress that can control this powerful creature and is supposed to help them overthrow the Prime Order, it looks like they're all getting, power over a certain aspect of this situation that they'll all be able to use to overthrow their oppressors in the end. Because you would fail if you tried to hit it from one side, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta hit it like in every way. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's gonna become a drug lord, basically.
I have a feeling we're
Narco is the CW edition.
So I have a feeling we're going to end up exploring a bit of Garrett's history with Covenant and the Prime Order and everything, because if he enrolled at 14 and he has spoken with such ferocity with regards to his father, I have this deep feeling that we're going to end up finding that him and Gwen's relationship actually started at some point while the royals were being overthrown.
Yeah, they might have been childhood sweethearts. They might have been together for a really, really long time, and she's waited so long, to be with him. And now he's back from war, and they're at the right age, and she wants to jump his bones in every scene because, he's like, no.
Am I the only one that doesn't deep dive into all this, with fleshing out these theories? Because I'm you guys are going deep in.
What I'm curious about is what was his name? The father, the general.
Calcazar?
No, not Marshall Withers.
Calcazar.
Calcazar.
Calcazar?
Yeah. I'm curious what he meant by she's not meant for it.
Yeah.
I feel like
pledged
they
to someone.
have a preordained.
She's pledged to someone.
Oh my God! What if they also believe in the prophecy and they think that the black blood person is going to be a dude and they're waiting to join forces with that person and Talon shows up?
That's amazing.
That would be amazing. She is the last descendant on Earth, basically, of the Emperor.
Yeah.
So that is royalty.
I am curious to find out how Garrett got involved in this rebellion, because right now we have no idea how that started.
I feel like it was Calcazar. I feel like Calcazar was a better father figure to him from a young age.
Probably.
And then let him in on the knowledge.
I feel like I know I came in late, but I feel like everyone's missed a little key part of this episode, though.
What?
The introduction of Lord Dredd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't really talked about that.
The Dredd and the Undertaker.
That was just creepy as anything.
Yeah. So we know he's coming.
He's creepy enough to probably match Sonali's assumed creepiness, I would imagine.
I don't know. I feel like I'm way more seduced than a chick with a brain hairdo and sharp teeth than I am by some white dude doing martial arts poses. I
we also haven't seen what he can do yet either. So
I don't fear Dread, pasty dude. I don't fear him at all. I don't think he's that. He might be awesome, but from right now, I'm not that intimidated by him. I'm more intimidated by his daughter. Have you seen the promo pictures of that little girl? That's
with
like
the freaky eyes.
Yeah, she's freaky. She looks like she could kill you way more than that, dude.
She looks like she's a witchy type character.
Yeah, she's like got this dead eyes, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
To put a spell on you or something. Maybe she's
Creepy
what
kids,
Mutt was talking about.
The kids aren't okay.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing when Mutt was like, some women prefer other women. And then Garrett was like, wow, I never knew this.
The look on Garrett's face, the little smirk that he gave when he was like, you have a treasure trove of information, my friend. You know, and that was just...
You are so wise, my friend.
Yeah, that was priceless.
Does anyone find Munt reminds him of Hodor a little bit?
What?
Anyone find Munt reminds him of Hodor a little bit?
If Hodor could still talk.
Hodor's going to show up later this season.
The most notable part of Munt is his dialogue. But
was really funny though is the guy who plays Munt and Garrett. They were both in Mythica together. I wonder how weird that scene was to film. They're playing such different characters now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh boy.
In Mythica, Jake played like the devilish thief rogue.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dude who plays Munt played the drunk warrior who was fairly honorable. So I guess Munt's character isn't super different, but his character in Mythica was a lot more competent and less kind of the idiot.
He was really competent comparatively.
Yeah. I love Mythica. If you haven't seen the Mythica movies, please watch them.
I've only seen 2 of them. I need to go watch the rest of them.
That's the part of the reason. Basically, when I first heard that the Outpost was coming out, I knew 2 things about it. I knew 3 things. It was going to be on the CW. It was made by Dean Devlin, amongst other people, and it was written by the people who wrote Mythica.
And then Jake got added.
Yeah, and then Jake, I didn't know that at first, but I was excited because the Mythica writers, they may be dudes, but they write great female characters, and they write. So I wasn't scared about having a badly written female character because I know that they can write really well. And in Mythica, she's disabled. The main character is more disabled, and she has a really good plot line as far as disabled characters go. That's really rare, and it's really meant a lot to me. So the Mythica series is really close to my heart. So I was really excited.
Do you want to briefly talk about the promo for next week?
As
we wrap up.
I don't remember a whole lot about it.
All I remember being on top of each other.
The one little maybe shirtless scene is about all I remember.
Yeah.
We tell on top of Garrett.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part either.
That was
blocking the view.
I like how it parallels from when Talon straddled Gwyn. So now they have this parallel going on, and I'm like, the OT3 is real. Why are they doing that?
Hang on, Talon straddling Gwyn?
Yeah, in the first episode.
Corridor, in the hallway.
When she first tackled her and straddled her.
# parallels.
Right, exactly. It's happening.
So when are both of them at the same time going to be on Talon to make up for it?
That's a good point.
I'm there for that.
When will we get what we deserve?
Yeah, Dean, if you're watching this, Dean, make it happen.
I don't know. I feel I really want season 2 because I feel like they have a lot planned.
Yeah.
That and also Sonali will get a heavier role in season 2 as well. Is another reason why.
I'm so depressed that I ruined my laptop because I was in the middle of planning an edit of Sonali as well. So it's I guess I'll just Why did you tweet Sterling?
What's that? To try to see if we can get her on here because she's actually going to be in the Outpost.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, I forgot about that. Oh shit!
You didn't know?
Yeah, she's going to be. She's Pock. She's
love her.
going to be Pock in the Outpost.
I love
my
Lindsay
God.
Sterling. I've been to like almost all of her concerts. She's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm
If you
shook.
can get her on the call, man.
I used to play her music. On
We
my
need to get her
violin.
on here. We need to get her
Oh
on
my
here.
God. I was like, no, we can't have her on here because I'm kind of in love with her. What am I gonna do?
No,
You can lay out that day.
For making her music videos, I'm like, I can't figure out what songs I want to use aside from Two Steps from Hell. I'm an idiot. Like,
Oh my gosh, please.
Dude,
What
Lindsay
about
Sterling
Elements?
and Two Steps from Hell. Both of those are like my top two.
Oh, I'm so excited now.
there we go.
Yeah. I love that most some of you weren't aware that she's actually going to be on the show.
I saw that. I forgot.
That was like first night, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure what role she's going to have, like whether it's going to be like a
It's
permanent
just
thing
an
or whether
hour
it's a
left.
one-off.
We should
But
probably wrap up. I think that's a good note to wrap on. how excited we are.
Wrap up about how fangirling about Lindsay Sterling.
Yeah, because it's relevant. It's relevant.
yeah, but for those unaware, we may have a special guest join us a couple of weeks, but you're gonna have to stay tuned for that one. So
I have a feeling
And
I
if
know who it
anyone
is.
involved with the show, small
Did you
or
finish it?
large, like even if you brought coffee to the cast and you want to talk to us, email us. Like we want everyone to feel like they have a voice that put effort and work into this show, and not a lot of people.
yeah,
behind the scenes
that we
get
want
to
set
talk.
secrets as well. So
Yeah, just not just actors, like anybody who worked on it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Behind the scenes, sets.
editing, the editing
Whatever.
room. We want to
Yeah.
get James Schaefer on here.
Yes.
Well, maybe we can have James. What if we try and get James and Lindsay at the same time? Just spitballing.
Oh boy.
let's just throw Jess into that and make it a wishful thinking one.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I can tell that Jess is going to be the hardest one to do. But yeah, for those following along,
Well,
we
it's not
are
like you-
trying to get Anand on here somehow, but he's got a busy schedule, so we'll cross our fingers and hope. But you never know. I mean, hey, we got Thor on a second podcast, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thor was
pretty good. He
awesome.
awesome. So
He was
I
really-
mean, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't
I'm
think there's
in
many
love
that
with
could
him.
actually.
100% in love.
Yeah, Nancy, are you in love with him or his modeling career?
I'm more about
All the above.
part. Just like, okay, I love finding fellow D&D nerds. It's my favorite thing.
I
Super
sense a crush. And on that note,
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I just got a random. Never mind.
Yeah,
What?
no, I just
No,
I can't
no,
say on it.
not
I don't think.
live.
Can I say?
we'll talk about it later.
I just formed a crush on live internet. It's fine.
Okay, but like
admit it,
that
Nancy.
happens all the time. Nancy's dead.
We'll
Okay.
tweet it out to Thor. Yeah, we'll tweet it out to Thor. Nancy has a crush on Thor.
Tim, on the Tasmanian.
Oh no.
It's all
Okay,
right. It's
so
all right,
now
Nancy. I've got a similar one on Sonali, and she's aware of it. So
Me too. Me and Tim are like fighting over Sonali low key. We're like slap fighting.
yeah, I had Sonali first. Let's be fair.
We'll talk about this.
Sonali's so awesome.
All right, let's wrap it up before we
Wrap it up.
lose our dignity.
Okay. Yep.
Definitely already. What dignity?
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have another stream next week.
See you later.
We'll have a lot to
I think we'll be
discuss.
back at the normal time, probably, depending, unless we get another cast member that needs to work
Lives in
with their
Norway.
times. So
Yeah.
yeah, and just for clarity, Thor is actually from Norway, so
Yeah.
he was back home.
Yeah,
Which is a
we
nice
could tell
touch.
because
So-
before you showed up, he was telling us stuff and like he was talking in Norwegian and stuff. So it was cool.
Yeah. And I should feel ashamed because I don't know if you can see how Norwegian my butt is, but I can only understand what people are saying in Norse if they're swearing at me. So
So you know the important words.
The important word.
I once had someone start cursing me out on Twitter in Norse.
Of everyone. Bye guys. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.